Hello and welcome to the Bella Backstage Podcast, where we interview and talk with people in the entertainment industry about their lives and the secrets about being in the industry. Today I have Autumn Rose with me.
Hi.
I'm so excited to get into it. Let's go. I just want to say, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Okay, so my name's Autumn Rose. I am a singer, an actress, and a dancer. I started to get into music this year and just getting into the mental health space and kind of talking about that because I feel like it's a really important thing that we need to talk about, and it's something that our generation really there needs to be more advocacy for.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned you're a triple threat. You're an actor, singer, and a dancer. How did you get started in singing, dancing, acting, and all of that?
So I'd say that I started when I was 10 years old. So I was a little kid, and I started things off in my church. They did like little Christmas theater productions and things like that. So I started off acting in that way, just like kind of standing on stage. I was like holding little baby Jesus. I was Mary in the play, and I was holding little baby Jesus, and they were just like, stand there, look cute. And I was like, okay, cool. And then
I am cute.
I was like, I am cute. I am the cutie. I'm going to stand center stage and hold the baby and just look around and be like, oh, this is so wonderful, the birth of Jesus Christ. And then from there, I just continued to move forward. I was like, I loved it. I loved not only the attention, but like the stories. Doing the stories was really fun for me. And from there, I continued on into doing more like community theater and doing musicals, because that was a really big thing for me. Fell in love with musical theater. Watching like West Side Story, Hello Dolly, like the old classic musicals at first. And so did community theater and fell in love with musical theater and things like that. I was a really big Disney person. Loved Disney, so that's how I fell in love with singing.
You need the arts to be more accessible to you.
Yes, it needs to be more accessible in rural areas. I live in kind of a unincorporated city, so there's not a ton of arts there, and when there was, it was accessible, but then when COVID hit, like things are barely starting to come back out. So it just needs to be like more accessible in like rural areas.
From Here has a music video and song coming out on August 30th, right? And what is it called?
It's called My Art. It's a cover of a song originally done in the J-pop field, so this is the English cover of it that came out like 7-ish years ago. So yeah, there's like, the song was originally done in Japanese, and then someone did a cover of it in English around 7 years ago, and there's like an animatic to it, so it's like a drawn like 2D sort of thing, and there's no music video to it where it's like real people and you can like connect with them on that level. So I wanted to do something where like you could connect to it on a real level, where you can see people that look like you and that's something that just felt real.
So with the music video coming out, what does this mean for you? Why did you start to develop this idea, this vision in your head to create this music video with live people for other people to connect to it? Why? What was your purpose?
Well, the song, it holds a really special place in my heart because I relate to it so much. The lyrics and the meaning behind the song, it's about suicidal thoughts and suicidal tendencies within my generation. I feel like a lot of people, like when I was younger, because this came out 7 years ago. I'm 20 now. I listened to this song 7 years ago as a kid, and I related to it because I myself had suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts, and that song helped me through so much because there was always a reason. So my R, a lot of people say that my R, the R stands for my reasons to stay. And so the animatic, the visuals of it, of a girl like going out of her way to be like, hey, don't do this. Like there's reasons to stay. And so I took those things and related it to myself because I didn't have that person because it was so hidden from everyone. I was like, oh, bubbly girl, but then behind closed doors, no way at all. And so no one knew. So no one knew to reach out. So the way that I was reaching out was through music and these songs. And I get emotional talking about it. But yeah, so like just like the reason that like I wanted to use real people was because yes, you can relate to things through like animation, like if things like that, they can touch you in certain ways, but I feel like when you see it with real people that have experienced these things and relate to the cause so much and want to help advocate for it, all the people that are in this music video, Christabel, Emmeline, all these people that worked on it with me, they all participate in mental health in some way, shape, or form and advocate for it. So I wanted to make sure that not only like the people that you're seeing on there are real people, but they truly care for the cause.
So being a person in the industry doing singing, dancing, acting, why is it so important to you to take care of your mental health?
Well, I think that the arts and mental health go hand in hand together. There's music therapy, there's dance therapy, there's so many different forms of therapy that have to do with arts and movement and creativity. And I feel like that is a way for me to be able to ground myself and cope with things that I may be going through and things that other people may be going through. Like through my projects, I hope that it reaches someone and it's like, that's like, I hope that someday someone can come up to me and be like, hey, your music video helped me go through A, B, and C. And I just want to be like, I want to be able to like hug that person and be like, I'm glad that this was your reason to stay.
Well, thank you for being so vulnerable about that. So Autumn is releasing this August 30th. It will be out by the time this is out. She's releasing it for Suicide Prevention Week and Month. And you can find it...
You can find it on my socials at Sad Autumn Rose, everywhere.
So going back to not having the accessibility and the privilege of having the arts around you in your community, what do you think, or what's some advice you can give to some listeners or watchers that are in love with the arts and want to do this for a living or just to express themselves or find that one thing to help them, like you said, with your mental health? What's some advice?
So my advice would be find the people that are just as passionate as you, because that's how it happened for me. I did not have access to what I'm doing now because of the area that I was in. It was because of the people that I met that I was able to have the privilege to even have this music video come out and be able to pursue the projects that I'm pursuing now. So, and it all happened by chance. Like, I'm so lucky and so thankful for the people that were able to get me to this place that I'm in now. So just, there's a little bit of patience that comes with this because I've wanted to do this project for 7 years. So my advice would be have patience and just know that there's a possibility that it can happen. It may not happen, but it can.
Yes, and also adding to that, do not let the word no from other people, do not let that stop you at all. There's been so many times where I wanted to do projects or things when I've heard the word no, and it's hard to hear and it's scary, but like you said, reach out, find that community of people, even if you're just chatting with them and saying, hey, my name's so-and-so, I'm interested in the arts, keep me in mind. And from there, you'll grow, meet connections, meet people, and, have those opportunities, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I met Christian, who actually helped me produce this music video and direct it and get it off the ground and get me to here, actually. So, it's the funniest story because I met a mutual friend of his, Christabel, who's also in the music video, and she introduced me to Christian, which is how I got to here. And before I got to here, I got just so many no's, absolutely not, oh, maybe, but it will cost X amount of money. And then I finally met Christian, and he was like, let's make this happen. And it just took so long, but I had patience and I persevered through it. And after 100 no's, you get that one yes, and it changes everything.
You said you did not have the art super accessible to you. This is something that you love to do since you were younger. Are you looking into creating your own music?
I am. It's in the words. It's just, I love songwriting. I'm very good at writing lyrics out, and I have the music in my head, but I only play the ukulele. So there's the issue. It's just the issue of.
So you need a producer. Producers, hair her up.
I need a producer. I swear, I have great ideas in my head. They're in there. It's just getting them to music that is a struggle, but I am working on it.
Like, what are some of your favorite types of songs to create, to sing, to make?
Ooh, okay. So I'll say that like the genre that I love to sing the most is like pop. I definitely love pop, musical theater, things like in that area. I definitely loved my like favorite genre like time is like 2015 pop. So like
That's so fun.
But like Selena Gomez area, like her songs like Who Says, like those type of songs. I love those type of songs, like the bops of the 2015 era. Those are like my favorite like go-to karaoke songs, and I'll just like be singing them in the car all the time. My favorite songs like to write about are more like definitely like more vulnerable songs. So like the songs that I'm currently like songwriting and stuff, I find that they like relate back to like early childhood and those sort of memories that I would go through.
This segment on the podcast is called Fact or Myth, and Autumn here is going to tell us a fact or myth about being a singer.
So when you're recording a song, it's done in one take. Not true. That is a complete myth. Everything that I do in my music, I'm doing at least like 5 takes for one line. So just like the line in like one of my like, lyric videos is like, "Hey, don't do it, please." I swear I sang that lyric at least like 10 times until I was happy with the tone of it and how it was sung.
So for our listeners and viewers that are not singers, why is it so important to warm up your vocal cords?
So it's really important because you could damage your vocal cords. You can develop nodes, which if you watch Pitch Perfect, shout out Pitch Perfect, love that movie, it's so funny. But vocal nodules are an actual thing that you can develop, and you have to get them surgically removed. They're like little bumps that form on your vocal glands, and if you don't take care of your voice and you do not warm it up as a singer, you can develop these things, and you need to get surgery to get them removed, because they can not only like affect your singing voice, but they can affect your speaking voice as well.
Advice you can give some aspiring artists or singers to continue and follow that dream of theirs?
I would say don't give up, because I feel like a lot of people, they hear no the first time and then they immediately give up. So I heard no a lot, and I was like, okay, it's not my time right now. It may not be your time. It was like you hear no and you're just like, oh, okay, then you don't do it ever again. I hear that story so much with my friends that love to sing, and they heard no the first time and they were like, yeah, I heard no, and then I was just like, I just didn't do it until I went on to do this. And I was like, maybe it just wasn't your time. You just hear no so much, and no is a scary word. It's a scary word to hear. Rejection is not fun to have and to hear. But just know that like no now does not mean no forever in the music industry, especially like in the arts and everything like that. You're going to hear no a lot when it comes to acting and singing and going into auditions and going into those rooms. but just because it's no in the moment, it isn't no forever. So when it comes to mental health and this song, a lot of the people that listen to the song or are already familiar with this song, they listened to this when they were kids. I'm talking like young kids, like 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old. And I think it's just so sad that it's come to such a young age when people are going through struggles and things like that. Like, I read a study recently where it said that suicide, the age range for suicide is 10 to 16. 10 years old. That is a child. That is a baby. And if they just had the resources out there, if parents like talked about mental health with their children at a young age, like that would help out so many kids. And having music that like really delves into mental health and isn't going to shy away from it, like that can help out so many people, because children love music. Like, they love music. Baby Shark, children eat that up. So if there was music out there that was accessible for their age range, appropriate for their age, and talked about mental health in a way that they could understand, like that would, like, it would open so many doors. Like, with this music video coming out, I hope it reaches those kids and they're able to see, like, okay, there's resources out there for me. Because yes, this is a music video, but I have resources that are going to be linked for children to be able to reach out if they don't have that safe space with their parents. Because not everyone can go to their parents for these struggles. So there's the suicide hotline, the 988 number that children can reach out to, teenagers can reach out to using their cell phone through text messages or phone calls. So there are definitely resources out there that not everyone knows about. And so, like, through the music video and through the podcast that I do, I hope that I am able to like get those resources out there for people to reach out to, and they're comfortable enough to use those resources. I've used those resources. So I'm not going to give resources that I do not trust, because if I do that, then I'm doing a disservice.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to the Bella Backstage Podcast. Thank you so much, Autumn Rose, for coming on, and we'll see you next time. Bye.